Well, gang, welcome back to Late Night Conspiracies, everybody. Let's jump right into it. I think you guys are gonna really dig this one because we talking about these alien twats, these bozos out here, and we got the homie Joe Rogan. Shout out to Noah Miles for putting this together. If you're new here, you do not have to like the video, you do not have to subscribe. Let's jump right into it. Let's see.
Roll us to the first clip, where Joe Rogan shares a chilling story with Post Malone about a Russian encounter with aliens that resulted in the deaths of 23 Soviet soldiers.
Crap.
This is a conversation from episode 2.
And you know what? This topic has started to re-emerge and resurface on the internet. It's like one of those CIA documents that came out, right? Yeah, and I covered that recently in a UFO video just like that. And let's jump into it in depth, I guess. Roll it.
2018.
There's a famous story from the Soviet Union that these guys shot at a UFO and it turned them into stone.
Crazy, man.
Is it true?
Joe Rogan begins reading a CIA file based on KGB materials that details the soldiers' contact with the UFO in Siberia.
According to the KGB materials, a quite low-flying spaceship in the shape of a saucer appeared above a military unit that was conducting routine training maneuvers. For unknown reasons, somebody unexpectedly launched a surface-to-air missile and hit the UFO. It fell to Earth.
Bro. For sure, they're gonna get mad, man. They're gonna get mad. For example, right? If you got a sibling, like, try throwing your little, like, shoe at them. Or maybe your, like, your pinky or your Twinkie, right? Like, if you toss a Twinkie or a pencil at your sibling, bro, they're gonna be riled up. They're gonna be riled up. They're gonna fire back. So if you launch a missile at these twats gonna get mad. So, yeah, man, I'm on the alien side on this one, bro. Like,
not far away, and 5 short humanoids with large heads and large black eyes emerged from it. It is stated in the testimonies by the 2 soldiers who remained alive that after freeing themselves from the debris, the aliens came close together and then merged into a single object that acquired a spherical shape. That object began to buzz and hiss sharply and then became brilliant white. In a few seconds, the spheres grew much bigger and exploded by flaring up with an extremely bright light. At that very instant, 23 soldiers who had watched the phenomenon turned into stone poles. Yeah, only 2 soldiers who stood in the shade and were less exposed to the luminous explosions.
So 5 of those twats came out. Hopefully no alien baddie was hurt in the process. Bruh. Yeah, what about them, right? What about them alien bimbos? So 5, okay, jokes aside, 5 of them came out and they merged into one, and then it became a light. And basically, if you were not in a shadow, you turned to stone. Shit, man. And CIA, that's the thing, man. CIA actually talked about it. Now, of course, like CIA, a lot of people would like psyop this and that. I get it, homie. I get it. But what are the odds? Like, what's the probability of this story being true? And again, like, if this story is true, we're hearing this from 2 Russian soldiers that survived, allegedly, right? So, moral of the story: if you're gonna launch a missile at them, stay in a shade, okay? Stay
survived.
In a shade.
For context, the UFO incident is said to have taken place in 1942, and while there is no physical evidence of this particular craft, we can't say for certain that it didn't happen. After all, this wouldn't be the first time the government has hidden extraterrestrial discoveries from the public, and also the complete 250-page file has never been released to the public. Yeah. Joe Rogan reads the concluding section of the CIA document exploring just how advanced alien technology might actually be, and it raises a critical question: if aliens exist, do we truly stand a chance against them?
The CIA representative stated, if the KGB file corresponds to reality, this is an extremely menacing case. The aliens possess such weapons and technology that go beyond all our assumptions.
Yeah.
They can stand up for themselves if attacked.
Dang.
But the thing is, they're saying if the file corresponds to reality, that means there's a question.
If this is real, they're tough.
Yeah, they can fuck with you.
The 2 also discuss the possibility that...
I mean, listen, man. I'm down with that, but with alien bimbos and the alien baddies, though. Not like, yeah, bro. Like, with the alien males, bro, you don't want to F around with them. Yeah, don't be launching missiles, guys. Don't be launching missiles, bro.
That some of the so-called alien tech discoveries might not be alien at all. Joe wonders if it's just a smokescreen. Could the government be blaming extraterrestrials to cover up their top-secret projects?
I think some of it has to be ours. I think some of it has to be like super advanced drone technology that we don't.
Yo, what if it was friendly fire as in the secret US program or Russia's program actually tested that tech on their own soldier, right? Could be that. I mean, what if
don't want everyone knowing about, and it's probably some black ops shit. But I don't think that's all of it. I think it's also possible that we've been visited. It just makes sense. It sounds so stupid. That's part of the problem of even talking about it, because it sounds dumb, because there's no evidence. So you have to believe in something where there's no evidence of it, other than like some blurry photographs. But then when you just think about the size of the universe itself, and the fact that we exist here on this planet. We're real. We know we're real.
To end this segment, Post talks about how, even without solid evidence, many people still believe in the existence of aliens to some degree.
I don't know. It's so
mathematically speaking, right? If what they tell us is true, that there are billions of planets, billions of galaxies, within each galaxy, billions of planets, mathematically speaking, it's impossible for us to be alone. When you think about it, like, okay, us Homo sapiens, we also come in different race, different shapes, different sizes, different colors, right? Us Homo sapiens. And then you got different breeds of dogs. You got cats. And there are different breeds of them. You got marine life, right? There are bees. I heard there are 6,000 different bees. Oh, shit. As in, like, their, you know what I mean, right? Their breed and all that. 6,000 different bees alone. You got, yeah, bro, like, what are we talking about, man? So there's way too much here. Way too much going on this planet. There's gotta be at least one planet in, like, a billion to have something, right?
Oh, weird, man. I don't know. And you're talking about the oh shit moment. I think we've been so like normalized to it, like ET, all this shit, growing up watching this shit, to where it's like, yeah, no shit. Everyone, no matter what the surveys say or anything, everyone thinks there's like something going on.
Facts, 100%.
Yeah. There's a few people that still are very incredulous. Elon, believe it or not, is incredulous. He's famously said, if the aliens are real, they sure are subtle.
They're very subtle. Bigfoot's subtle too.
Up next, James Fox tells the story of a police officer's encounter with aliens while on patrol in New Mexico in 1964. And what makes it even more shocking is the government's swift attempt to silence the officer. This is a conversation from episode number 1976.
One of the best, most well-documented cases in U.S. history took place at Socorro, New Mexico, April 24th, 1964, at 5 o'clock with a police officer that was on duty by the name of Lonnie Zamora. The best case in U.S. history, the best documented case. The first military officer to arrive on the scene got there, the bushes were still smoking. I mean, the imprints in the ground of the craft, the footprints, they got diagrams of this stuff.
Take a look at this picture of the site.
I mean, the bushes, damn, man. Damn. So these aliens not even leaving the bushes a chance, huh?
Where Officer Lonnie Zamora saw a UFO.
Yo, yeah, if you squint your eyes a little bit, it looks like that he's taking a piss here. You like that, man? That is perfect, bro. And especially with the hand gestures, him looking down, and yeah, bro. Especially like this area looks like him pissing, though. Okay, but back to the video at hand.
James explains how the Air Force went out of its way to silence Lonnie, ensuring he didn't talk about it publicly. And according to James, the experience completely turned Lonnie's life upside down.
Daughter and his wife told me clearly, and his wife said, Lonnie was never the same after that case.
Yeah.
But
so what did Lonnie see?
Lonnie saw two beings at the base of an egg-shaped craft that was landed in an arroyo in Socorro, New Mexico.
Beings or beings? I believe he meant to say beings. It's just auto translation error. Like, probably use AI for the subtitles, right? So probably beings as in like humanoids, as biologicals, right? That's crazy. I mean, yeah, I wonder, man. Like, shit, man. I wonder, because there are a lot of people that have seen the UFOs, right? A lot of people have. I have not seen it, by the way, in real life. I've seen it a lot on YouTube and in the videos, of course, but I have not seen it with my own eyes yet. How many of you guys actually have seen a UFO? 1 in the comments if you have seen it with your own eyes, 2 if you have not. And I wonder about like the people, because the probability would start to lower, right? The probability of you seeing a UFO probably a little higher than a person that would have seen an actual humanoid, biological, extraterrestrial creature. Yeah, so you seeing an actual being, Shit, what are the odds, man? Gotta be very low, though. Very low.
They saw two beings at the base of an egg-shaped craft that was landed in an arroyo in Socorro, New Mexico in broad daylight. Lonnie looked out the window of his patrol car. He saw something that caught his eye, and then this object landed. He drove. He was actually in hot pursuit at the time. He gave up pursuit to go investigate what was going on, and he sees this object in the arroyo in the desert on the ground. It's such a well-documented case. And he rolls down his car window and he's looking out and he's going, am I looking at like an overturned car? What the hell am I looking at?
Yeah.
And then he sees two little figures. He said they were childlike at the base of the craft, and one of them locked on.
Yeah, gotta be like those 3 feet tall, 3 foot tall, 1.5 foot tall aliens, right? The ones that we can perhaps like pet and all that, right? Bruh. Yeah, I just wanna pet them like a good old chihuahua, man. Is that too hard, bro? Like, I wanna, okay, 2 things I wanna know in this life, okay? Alien baddies, bimbos, alien bimbos, and also like being able to pet an alien, though, like that's a good boy, that's a good boy. I want to pet it like this dog, right? Like that has that Diddy look, though. This dog got that Diddy look, though. Yeah, I want to pet it like a good old chihuahua, man. Is that too much to ask, guys? I don't think it's too much to ask. Yeah, I don't think it's too much to ask.
Eyes with him, and his wife said he was never the same after that.
Ooh.
But
how did he describe them? What they
He said
like?
they were small, childlike. It's small, and had white coveralls, tight coveralls. This is a close encounter of the third kind.
To end this segment, James dives deeper into Officer Lonnie Zamora's incredible encounter with the UFO. He describes how the craft looked, the mind-blowing speed at which it moved.
Holy shit. And this video and story was recorded before, right? And of course, we've all heard about the X-ship UFO, right? News Nation, Jake Barber, eyes wide open, the guy never blinks, aka the guy that never blinks his eyes, actually came out and revealed that. Yeah, whether you believe it or not, that's totally up to you, but he did that. So yeah, a whole lot of X-ship UFOs. Yeah, a little bizarre.
Moved, and one detail that stood out, a mysterious symbol imprinted on its body.
The object was sitting on the ground, not for very long, just a few minutes. Lonnie saw the beings, and he went like around to get a closer look. I mean, he was like, what the hell am I looking at? And he drove his car around to get a closer look, and he lost contact with for a second while he drove around to get a closer look. Now he's within 50 feet of this egg thing sitting on the ground.
Egg thing, right.
And he gets out of the patrol car. It starts making some weird noise, and it has a blue flame that comes out. And he said it was not like a rocket flame where it would hit the ground and dust everything up, but it pierced the ground like a knife through warm butter. And then when it got about 20 feet off the ground, it went completely silent with no flame, no nothing. You can hear a pin drop. And there was a symbol on the side of the craft. It was in yellow, and it was about 3 feet tall, and it was like a V like this, 2 lines and a line on top.
Take a look at the image of the symbol Officer Lonnie saw on the side of the craft.
Yo! And this is like similar to, because recently we have also been, or the topic is getting a little popularized about the alien language or the symbols that are being found on the UFOs. For example, the X-ship UFO, it is being said that it had, and we've seen the 4chan leak photos of whether those are real or not. It's very, very hard to say because we're living in times of deception, guys, so it's very hard to say. But if you've seen, you know, right? If you know, you know. But if you don't know, I just want to like picture this for a second, but also keep in mind that this is information that we're discovering on the internet, so it's very hard to say what's real, what's not. So I want to be upfront and honest with you on that. So yeah, a lot of symbols are being discovered on the UFOs, especially the X-ship UFOs. So that topic is also getting very, very popular. So this one is similar to that. So A, B, and C figure. Okay, do you call it figure? Fig? Okay, Fig 28. Dr. Hynek's own record of the Scoro insignia. Okay, so that's A. B, the currently accepted official insignia, and C, the initial false design Blue Book gave to the press in 1964. Oh crap. Real quick though, I want to say if you do have the grams, I would love to have you there. Shout out to all of you for following on the grams. I would definitely appreciate you if you do, because you never know, right? Like especially in this field, bro, you never know, man. So just in case something happens, check out the grams. It's SKizzle as my YouTube channel username if you don't have that. We also got Twitter or X. Alright, let's get back to the content here, boo-boo. Roll up.
And here's an illustration of what the aliens may have looked like from Officer Lonnie's point of view. Next, Joe Rogan and David Grush discuss the concept that aliens may have created humans. They explore the topic of genetic manipulation and the seeding of life on Earth by extraterrestrial beings. This is a conversation from episode number 2065.
If these things that we're experiencing are the natural progression of what happens when you do seed life on planet, or you do accelerate biological life, you do have some sort of a genetic intervention where you take this thing that it has emerging intelligence and you accelerate it, and that thing will in turn, with all of its desire for innovation and creativity, and also all of its desire to control resources and have power and have influence, that it will eventually lead to the creation of what we're seeing. That these things are the next stage of this process. Yeah. And that maybe...
Yeah.
Now, some people do believe, that topic is also quite relevant. Some people, or I should say a lot of people also do believe in the idea, not fact, idea of, hey, what if these alien creatures, UFOs, are us from the future? Right? Like, ever thought about that or heard that? Yeah, let me know in the comments if you ever heard that. So that's one of those theories. And one of the other theory, which is a lot more popular, and yeah, it's crazy, because when I was on a movie set, right, like as a background extra, I'm pursuing acting in real life, but I was on an extra set. It was actually, now I can say it was, I'm in Montreal, by the way, so Montreal, Canada, and it was the Jackie Chan Kung Fu movie, the new one, the Karate Kid that's coming out. Oh, shit. Yeah, bro, so it's crazy. Of course, I cannot talk about some details, but now that the trailer's out, I can openly talk about this. So yeah, I was on a set for that, and I met a guy there, okay, and we started talking about it, and it's like, all of a sudden, from I don't even know how, why, where, or how that happened, we started talking about like conspiracies, and all of a sudden we were like talking about the aliens and this and that. And get this, the guy was like, hey, I believe in the Anunnakis that made us. Oh, shit. So that's like my very first time coming across another human actually believing in that. So that's how much popular this is, right? So the point that I'm trying to get at, or where this is where I'm headed. So there is another theory which is a lot more popular, and that is the aliens made us. The Anunnaki made us, to be precise here. Oh, shit. Oh. Yeah, it's crazy. A lot of people believe in that, and if you do, you do. I mean, if you don't, you don't. I don't. I personally don't. But he did, the guy that I spoke with, and maybe you guys as well do it. And if you do, put it in the comments, man. I mean, listen, bro, we're all different. We all got different opinions, man. It's simple as that. Nobody knows who's right here. Yeah, we don't know who's right here. Yeah, let's be real. I mean, how would you know if you're wrong or right? Yeah, so, but I personally don't believe in that. I believe God made us. Simple as that. And maybe you don't believe in that, and that's cool. That's perfectly fine, homie. Or maybe you do. That's perfectly fine too. But yeah, but what if the idea behind it is crazy, right? What if, like, Anunnakis, the aliens made us? But then the question would be like, who made them? Okay, so they were also made by some other aliens. Then who made them? Who made them? The question would never end, right? It would never end.
We're dealing with one form of that next stage, but there's another stage that's a million years more advanced than that, that's far superior, that doesn't even have a biological limitation in terms of physical space, that it exists completely in some other undetectable realm.
While Joe doesn't explicitly mention aliens in this specific context, his suggestion of a deliberate act of seeding life or genetic intervention could imply the involvement of a more advanced civilization, possibly alien in nature. However, it's important to note that Joe doesn't provide concrete evidence for this theory. It remains speculative and open to interpretation. As the conversation progressed, Joe addressed the skepticism surrounding advanced extraterrestrial beings crashing their spacecraft. He offers a couple of theories to explain why this could be happening.
I always wonder, when there's a crash, or when there's a body, or when there's a this and that, like, and people saying, well, why, if they're so advanced, why are they crashing?
Yeah,
well, hold on, which version are we looking at? We're not saying there's one thing that's visiting us. If there's one thing that's visiting us and we know where this one thing is, we could say, oh, well, that thing, it deals with a completely different solar system that's not as vulnerable. It doesn't have asteroid clouds. It doesn't have all.
That's a very good point. And another point is that, why do we believe that they would be advanced in that specific area or category? They may be advanced in, let's just say, medicine, right? Maybe one of their kind, one of their species would be so advanced that if they were to get sick, they would just take that magic pill and all of a sudden, bam, they're like good. Whereas us Homo sapiens, depending on the situation, it may take a couple of hours, couple of days, or maybe, it's deadly. Oh, the disease is deadly. Yeah, right? So maybe one of their species is super advanced in medicine, but it does not mean that they would be advanced in every other category too. Maybe this planet is a little fresh to them, a little new to them, at least to one of the species, so they crash. Or maybe they are visiting us so much, and 1 out of 10,000 of their UFOs actually crash. Maybe it's that. It's one of those things, right? Like that. But that's the question, though. Like, it's a genuine question. Like, if they're so advanced, like, how or why would they crash? Maybe they're not advanced in every single category. Maybe in some categories we are way ahead in comparison to them. Yeah, we do undervalue ourselves a lot, right? Individually and also collectively we do, when it comes to this topic especially. But what if we are advanced in some aspects? Not all, but in some.
All these different things where it's like it doesn't have a planet that has super volcanoes. Maybe life evolved in a more stable environment and it allowed it to get to a far greater technological level, but not the ultimate.
Yeah, we might be testing the extent of their adaptability. And like I said, are they crashing by accident?
Right.
Mission failure? Or on purpose?
Joe makes it clear to Grush how little we know about the universe. He highlights the vastness of the universe compared to human life. He also discusses the James Webb Space Telescope's recent discoveries, which have raised questions about the universe's age and timeline.
How about the Big Bang itself? Like, yeah. What happened? Something smaller than the head of a pin? For no known reason becomes everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's the universe expanding into?
Right.
It's like a quantum foam or whatever the heck the latest theory is that's like beyond me.
And then it perhaps just retracts back down to that infinitely small thing and then expands again.
Yeah.
And that this is an endless cycle and that we're just so limited because of our biological limitations. Our life and death is such a small little tiny blip. It's so minuscule in terms of just the overall known life of the universe. And then you have the James Webb Telescope that's, there's people that question the actual length of time that occurred between the Big Bang and now.
And speaking of that, James Webb Telescope, currently, this is going to sound like a shocker, set down. They are saying they have discovered alien life. Oh, shit! Click on this video on the screen. In this one, I covered that topic, and also a UFO was recovered. And get this, the UFO that was recovered is very small, and there was alien language written on it. Yeah, both of those topics are covered in this video. Click on this video on the screen and check it out. It's crazy.